Now, what could be more appropriate than starting off a video about Samsung's new Galaxy Watch 5 Pro than starting it out here amongst the GPS attenuating large buildings and skyscrapers of the urban jungle here in Southern California. I'm going to tell you what I think the best features of this device are over the Classic 4. Should you pick it up? Should you not? How well does it hold up? Does it actually earn the Pro moniker? We're going to get into all that. By the way, I'm shooting this on Samsung's Z Fold 4, the Galaxy Z Fold 4. So this is video from that. If you care to know, there'll be a review coming up on that soon. Anyway, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. Let's get into it. So let's get some house cleaning out of the way first. What makes this watch a pro? Well, first up and most important, from a material standpoint, this year we get a titanium body and sapphire crystal that Samsung says is twice as strong as the glass used on the Galaxy Watch 4. Both the 5 and 5 Pro come with sapphire, but the Pros is rated at a hardness of 29 gigapascals as opposed to the 24 gigapascal rating of the standard 5. What does that mean in English? There's a lot to it, including something called a Vickers test and conversion to Système International or SI units in newtons, compressive strength, resistance to weathering, and resistance to solvents or acids at room temperature up to around 600 degrees Celsius, which is a lot to say. It's tough. Just below diamond, in fact, on the mineral hardness scale. Lending even more to the Pro moniker, the watch also has the largest battery in the lineup this year and is larger than last year's Watch 4 Classic. As far as color goes, get it in black or gray titanium. I have the gray model and it is large. Available in 45mm only. I'm going to put a link to the written review, which has detailed specs, in the description below. Gone is the rotating bezel, but if you're watching this, you've likely already heard about that already. What do I think? Honestly, I really do miss the bezel. But if this is for durability and longevity of a watch that can cost as much as $550 with tax before activation fees for the LTE version, I can live with it. That said, I'm still not a fan of the touch-based crown, so I've gone back to swiping around the interface for getting around. But have no fear, true believers, it's all uphill from here. With last year's 4 Classic as the point of reference, the most standout feature for me this year is the battery life and charging speed.
Ludicrous speed! Go!
My longest, toughest day of battery life was 37 hours off the charger, and in that time, in addition to all of the notifications and regular time checking, I worked out twice for an hour each with music streaming to my first gen Galaxy Buds Pro. Went for a 30-minute urban hike using the new route-based workout feature that is exclusive to the Pro model. So that's GPS in an urban environment, which means buildings to potentially interfere with the GPS signal. And I streamed audio for the turn-by-turn directions to the earbuds along with music. You can add a night of sleep tracking with snore detection turned on and all the things, all the features on the watch active. Continuous heart rate, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, raise to wake, and Google Assistant activated. So with all of that action, it took me roughly 37 hours to kill the battery. The only thing I'll need more time to thoroughly test with that is cycling workouts where I'm out for an hour or more with the sun beating on me as I'm riding. You know, that California desert heat in the past has caused many smartwatches to crash. But back to that battery life. It gets even better if you forget to charge or need to conserve power. I went to the gym one day with 9% battery, worked out for an hour with the battery saver mode on, and at the end of the workout, the watch was still at 9%. Despite that, my heart rate was accurately recorded. I was wearing my Apple Watch as well and compared the heart rate data between Apple's fitness activity app and Samsung Health. It was all good. Unlike last year's release, we get Google Assistant available at launch, as again, we're looking at a device, one of the few running Wear OS 3. And that is going to be my next favorite feature, is the overall user experience this year. I've been a fan of Galaxy Watches since Tizen, but the Google integration expands the watch's utility quite a bit. As a result of the great battery life I'm getting, the sleep functionality along with snore detection is great as I rely on it to wake me in the morning without waking my wife. The SpO2 sensor has delivered some wonky results, but other than that, sleep data has been consistent. New this year, Samsung has included a skin temperature sensor to its array of sensors, which include their bioactive sensor, which monitors heart rate, electrical heart signal, and body composition, and their SpO2 sensor, which monitors blood oxygenation. The downside is that the skin temperature reader is this year's Google Assistant, a feature that'd be great, but isn't actually available to you at launch. Despite that, these sensors and their algorithms are fantastic. Having exercise auto detect turned on will show you just how frequently you actually go for unofficial walks than you realize. The one area I'd like to see improvement is in the Raise to Wake UI. Raise to Wake can be finicky, and I'd like to see a greater visual differentiator between always on sleep mode versus awake when you raise. If you're an avid hiker or biker, and I even think runner, you can now utilize something called a GPX file or a previous workout to create a GPX file and get turn-by-turn voice guidance for those activities via the new guided routes function. It's supposed to be for hiking and cycling, but I used a previous route I walked on my lunch hour to test, and despite being crowded out in some areas of my urban trek by tall buildings, the GPS-based guidance was fairly accurate, though a bit behind in a couple spots. Which means that if you're out on an actual hike in an open area, your GPS results should be better than mine, which were already solid. You can download these GPX, or what are basically maps files, from sites like one of my favorites, alltrails.com, which I use to find great hiking spots over here in SoCal. Though some sites will charge a fee for access to those downloads. The other Watch 5 Pro exclusive feature here is TrackBack. So let's say you go out for a hike and want to head back to the starting point. With TrackBack on, you'll be able to get guided routing right back to the starting point. Side note, these are basically offline maps, a feature that Google Maps, offline mapping that is, should come to the watch later this year, bearing in mind that we had to wait 9 months on the Watch 4 for Google Assistant to make an appearance. So here's the skinny. This watch isn't skinny. It is larger than last year's Galaxy Watch 4, and the D-buckle magnetic sport band that comes with it, that comes with the model I got, I actually liked, but I still immediately changed it out for a third-party nylon strap. I need my straps to breathe during workouts and during sleep, so I'm not a fan of anyone's silicone straps. I absolutely love the size and the looks of this watch, and though it is definitely larger than some watches I've reviewed in terms of sleep comfort, I was able to adjust to wearing it nightly, though I could see how that would be an issue for some with smaller wrists who might consider one of the smaller Watch 5 models instead. The sleep coaching and analysis is very compelling. Samsung Health has gotten so much better over the years. Samsung's Galaxy Watch 5 Pro is fast around the interface and app launching. Fast to charge from almost dead to 30% in around 20 minutes with its 10-watt wireless charging. I think fast to become a lot of folks' favorite Android watch, though it will have some competition later this year. We'll see how that goes. Currently, I think it is the most complete Android smartwatch experience on the market, period. And for overall fitness tracking and functionality, I'd rate it among the best non-sport specific Android smartwatches you can buy. You could find a better sport specific smartwatch, but there won't be a better all-around Android smartwatch. There's levels to this. Hey, I'm Tshaka Armstrong for Android Central. If there's anything you'd like to know about this watch that I didn't answer, any questions you have that I didn't answer, please go ahead and leave those in the comments below. I'll get to them. Love chatting with you all. You're a great group. I will catch you on the next video.